The Grand European Tour, Amsterdam to Budapest.
Dr. Sydney Soclof. drsydney22@gmail.com. 2022. Narration by Dr. Sydney Soclof,
Zoe Phonemes,
and Nathan Koltov. For a more complete discussion of YouTube navigation, please go to this video using the link here. The Grand European Tour, Amsterdam to Budapest.
The cruise between Amsterdam and Budapest is a 2-week cruise on 3 rivers and 2 canals.
The 3 rivers are the Rhine, Main, and Danube.
The 2 canals are the Main-Danube Canal and the very short Amsterdam-Rhine Canal.
Another cruise possibility is the longer 3-week cruise between Amsterdam and Bucharest.
As an example, this is the first 3 days of the itinerary of the Viking Grand European Tour.
A scenic highlight of this part of the cruise is the picturesque Rhine Valley between Koblenz and Mainz.
Burg Rheinstein is the first castle to be rebuilt in the 19th century.
This is the Middle Rhine Valley at Kaub.
These are the 4th, 5th, and 6th days of the cruise along the Rhine past Koblenz, and then on the Main River past Miltenberg and Würzburg.
Then it is on the Main-Danube Canal to Regensburg on the Danube.
Passau on the Danube is at the confluence with the Inn River. Melk is the famous monastery on a hill overlooking the Danube.
This is the beautiful Wehau Valley between Melk and Vienna in Austria.
Vienna is an overnight stop with 2 full days to visit the city. Then it only an overnight cruise to Budapest for an overnight stay and the end of the cruise.
One big difference between an ocean cruise and a river cruise are all the locks along the rivers.
How was it possible to connect these 2 river systems to provide a waterway corridor across Europe from sea to sea? These 2 rivers are tantalizing close to each other in the Black Forest region of southwestern Germany.
This map shows how close the Danube and the Rhine are to each other in the Black Forest region of southwestern Germany.
But then the 2 rivers diverge? The Rhine flows north into the North Sea, a part of the Atlantic Ocean, and the Danube flows mainly east and empties into the Black Sea.
The answer to a connecting link is the Main River from the Rhine.
And then from the Main River, the Main-Danube Canal to the Danube.
This is a map of the entire route Grand European Tour cruise between Amsterdam and Budapest.
This shows the profile of the route over the Continental Divide from Würzburg near the Rhine to Passau on the Danube.
This is the river profile from the junction of the Rhine and Main to the Danube River, showing that many locks are required to go over the Continental Divide.
There are no locks on the Rhine from Amsterdam to the junction with the Main River.
Then there are 34 locks on the Main River, 16 locks on the Main-Danube Canal, 15 locks on the Danube between Regensburg and Vienna, and 1 between Bratislava and Budapest. The total number of locks between Amsterdam and Budapest is 66.
Although there is no ultimate limitation on the size of ocean-going cruise ships, most river cruise ships are designed in such a way not to waste any space and just fit into the locks.
For example, the lock width along the Main-Danube Canal is 12 meters or 40 feet. So all ships can have a maximum width of 11.4 meters. The length of the locks is 190 meters or 625 feet.
So, these river cruise boats are limited to a maximum width of 11.4 meters, or 37.4 feet.
And length of 190 meters or 625 feet. The actual length is typically 135 meters, or 443 feet.
The width limitation of 37.4 feet means that there will no inside cabins, and just one central passageway.
The height of the river boats is also limited by bridge clearances. Typically, there are 4 decks total, with 2.5 decks above the waterline.
To allow for passage under bridges, the pilot house is lowered,
and the sun deck is cleared.
So, basically, we're talking about the river cruise boats being more like canal boats.
And you'll always know your neighbor, you'll always know your pal if you ever navigated on the Erie Canal.
In contrast, river cruise boats on the lower Mississippi River between St. Louis and New Orleans are not limited by locks, and the bridge are high. An example is the American Queen.
The American Queen is said to be the largest river steamboat ever built. It was built in 1995, and is a 6-deck recreation of a classic Mississippi riverboat. It can accommodate 400.
In further contrast, the largest cruise ship in the world is the Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas, launched in April 2018. With 18 decks, it accommodates 6,680 passengers and 2,200 crew for a total of nearly 9,000.
Cunard's Queen Victoria is the largest passenger ship to sail the Amazon to Manaus, 800 miles upstream, with 2,000 passengers aboard.
A typical river boat for Rhine and Danube cruises are the Viking Longship class of boats of 3,500 tons, with 95 cabins for 190 passengers, and with 50 crew.
This is a profile view of a Viking longship. Note that there are 2 1/2 decks above the waterline.
The standard cabins are water-level cabins with small windows just above the waterline.
This is the deck plan of a Viking longship.
The French balcony stateroom is 135 square feet, and is a river view stateroom with floor-to-ceiling sliding glass door to create a French balcony.
This is the floor plan of the French balcony stateroom.
The veranda stateroom is 205 square feet. It is a river view stateroom with a floor-to-ceiling sliding glass door opening to a small balcony.
This is a floor plan of the veranda stateroom.
The standard stateroom is 150 square feet, with a half-height window.
This is a floor plan of the standard stateroom.
The Aquavit Terrace is an outside sitting and dining area on the bow of the boat.
This is the Aquavit Lounge with buffet-style dining. Just forward of this is the Aquavit Terrace.
This is the sun deck looking towards the bow of the boat.
This is the sun deck looking towards the stern of the boat. The sun deck is closed off and not accessible during some parts of the cruise due to bridge clearances.
Note that sun deck may be closed off for as much as 1/3 to 1/2 of the cruise due to low bridges. But the Aquavit Terrace is always available to provide an outside viewing area on the boat.
This is the restaurant.
The Amsterdam was built in 2016. It has a length of 443 feet, width of 38 feet, 78 staterooms for 156 passengers, and a crew of 51.
This is the Viola of the Waterways cruise line.
This is the deck plan of the Amsterdam.
This is the Uniworld River Empress. It accommodates 130 passengers and 41 crew. It has a width of 37.5 feet, but the length of 361 feet is.
This is the deck plan of the Uniworld River Empress. The staterooms are all 151 square feet.
This is the MS area of the Grand Circle Cruise Line. It accommodates 162 passengers and 81 cabins.
This is the deck plan of the MS area of the Grand Circle Cruise Line.
The cabins have 2 twin beds that convert to couches for daytime use. In the evenings, the couches are converted to beds.
The twin beds are stationary and cannot be combined into a double bed.
Pre- and post-cruise extensions. It is highly recommended to arrive in the cruise departure city at least one, and preferably several days before the cruise begins.
This is typically what is offered in a cruise extension in Amsterdam. It is indeed pricey at $1,150 to $1,200 for a couple for the 2 nights.
You may wish to consider doing it on your own for much less. Instead of $1,200 for a couple for 2 nights, you can get a good hotel, such as the Ibis Amsterdam Center, next to the train station, for $160 a night.
This shows the location of the Hotel Ibis Amsterdam Center very close to the Amsterdam Centraal Station.
It's just a short walk of about 10 minutes from the hotel to the river cruise terminal.
This is typically what is offered in a cruise extension in Budapest. It's kinda pricey at $800 for a couple for the 2 nights.
Again, you can do it on your own for much less. Instead of $800 for a couple for 2 nights, you can get a good hotel, such as the Ibis Budapest Centrum, for $70 a night.
When to go?
It depends on the factors of availability, climate, cost, and crowds.
This is data extracted from the rivercruise.com website, a division of Vacations to Go, on the number of cruises from Amsterdam to Budapest. Approximately the same number go in the reverse direction, Budapest to Amsterdam.
This is data extracted from the rivercruise.com website on the number of cruises on the Rhine from Amsterdam to Basel in Switzerland. Approximately the same number go in the reverse direction, Basel to Amsterdam.
This is data extracted from the rivercruise.com website on the number of cruises on the Rhine list by cruise line. We see that the largest cruise line is Viking, followed by Avalon as a close second.
This is data extracted from the rivercruise.com website on the number of the cruise that include both the Rhine and Danube, listed by cruise line. We see that the largest cruise line is again Viking, followed by Avalon as distant second.
This is data extracted from the rivercruise.com website on the number of cruises from Amsterdam to Bucharest. Approximately the same number go in the reverse direction, Bucharest to Amsterdam. We see that the largest cruise line is again Viking, followed by Avalon as distant second.
This is a comparison of the approximate cost of various types of cruises, per person, per day. The Mississippi River cruises are from roughly $250 to $500. The Rhine and Danube cruises, from Amsterdam to Budapest, range from about $400 to $800. In contrast, ocean cruises of 14 to 21 days are roughly in the range of $125 to $500.
The climate along the Rhine and Danube rivers.
The climate of Amsterdam.
Will it be hot? Or will it be cold in Amsterdam?
Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year in Amsterdam.
Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Celsius throughout the year in Amsterdam.
The rainfall in Amsterdam.
Here is the average rainfall in inches throughout the year in Amsterdam. The total yearly rainfall is 32 inches, or 810 millimeters.
Here is the average rainfall in millimeters throughout the year in Amsterdam.
Here is the average number of days per month, with precipitation, throughout the year in Amsterdam. We see that it rains about 10 days every month throughout the year.
The climate of Basel.
Will it be hot? Or will it be cold in Basel?
Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year in Basel.
Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Celsius throughout the year in Basel.
Rainfall in Basel in Switzerland.
Here is the average rainfall in inches throughout the year in Basel. The total yearly rainfall is 31 inches, or 778 millimeters.
Here is the average rainfall in millimeters throughout the year in Basel.
Here is the average number of days per month, with precipitation, throughout the year in Basel. We see that it rains about 9 days every month, throughout the year.
The climate of Vienna.
Will it be hot? Or will it be cold in Vienna?
Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year in Vienna.
Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Celsius throughout the year in Vienna.
Rainfall in Vienna.
Here is the average rainfall in inches throughout the year in Vienna. The total yearly rainfall is 22 inches, or 548 millimeters.
Here is the average rainfall in millimeters throughout the year in Vienna.
Here is the average number of days per month, with precipitation, throughout the year in Vienna.
The climate of Budapest.
Will it be hot? Or will it be cold in Budapest?
Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year in Budapest.
Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Celsius throughout the year in Budapest.
The rainfall in Budapest.
Here is the average rainfall in inches throughout the year in Budapest. The total yearly rainfall is 24 inches, or 620 millimeters.
Here is the average rainfall in millimeters throughout the year in Budapest.
Here is the average number of days per month, with precipitation, throughout the year in Budapest. We see that it rains about 6 days every month throughout the year.
Thanks for watching. Please watch some more of my great videos.